Hey, what's up, guys? It's Apollo Uchiha here, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am back with a new story. The name of this story is What If Naruto Was a Civilian Charismatic Genius? And yeah, guys, it is a civilian Naruto story in Elemental Nations. And before we begin, yes, it might be a slice of life like fiction. So, moving onwards, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And moving onwards, there are a lot of things that I want to discuss. But before doing so, I want to set something straight. Spidey, your idea has been great so far. And yeah, I really appreciate it because you helped a lot in story making process. Most of you guys do. And I know that I have not been able to make a lot of your ideas. It's because I was trying some things new because I knew that the um, guys were losing interest in the stories. But yeah, I was trying something new to, catch as many people as I can. I'm gonna be honest here, and their interest towards my channel. But obviously, it was not working as I thought. So yeah, I'm just gonna focus on you guys who are watching me, and that is why I have made a decision that I will be writing down a fanfiction series on for Meta What If channel. Okay, that channel will now be converted into a series channel, which was the plan all along, and this one will continue on as such. But moving forward, Spidey's idea talking about that, I'm gonna be honest here, dude. Because you guys criticize my stories, I'm okay with that. I accept that. Because I know I have made a mistake and it could be corrected. But the thing is that you guys can also make a mistake. I tried your idea, I tried to come up with it for the last 2 hours, but I couldn't make anything of it. It's like a combination of five things all together that don't even work together. The story doesn't make any sense. Either pick one genre as well as a crossover and let's combine them, or just don't. Because what you're trying to do is combine 4 to 5 different universes: DC, Marvel because of the mutants, and even Percy Jackson, and then Naruto universe, and then there is him being a god, being born a child, being God, having tragedy, as well as going on revenge, and then not being on revenge, and then becoming a Deadpool, then becoming a god, and then becoming a Titan. I just don't understand where this is going. If I hurted you, I'm sorry, but the thing is that I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just criticizing the idea. I hope you guys don't take it to heart, but the thing is, as it is, I'm laying it out to you in all honesty. And as I said before, Meta What If is now going to be converted into full-fledged, written down series channel, and this will be, as usual, unscripted one. Because, yeah, I want to change content there at least a little bit, because that is a standalone channel in its own, aside from Apollo Uchiha. So I hope you don't mind, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my both channels if you agree with me. And soon I will pick out the ideas as I did before, but this time around I will make them because I have made my up my mind, because I know I have to do this. I have been lazy, I have been slacking off, but now this needs to break. I need to get out of my comfort zone that I built for myself. And I need to do this. I know the intro is getting long, but I had to lay down some harsh truths about myself and about the ideas that I'm seeing in the comment section. I will try my best to make up your ideas, but at least make those that make sense, guys. At least to me, because I'm dumb. Dumb as hell. I hope you guys don't mind. Especially you, Spidey, because I mentioned you, because I was trying to make your idea, because you have been asking about it quite a lot. Anyways, enough said. Without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins in Konoha Gakure no Sato, 5 years after the QB attack, as we go towards Konoha's orphanage, where we see a kid was seated with glasses, as his blue eyes were right on a book that he was reading. It was a complex book only meant for adults to read, but his curiosity and his willingness to learn has made him admire and fall in love with reading so much that he was reading even these books and was quite finding joy in them. As now we see the orphan Matrix then arrived. Naruto, Hokage-sama is here to see you, said the woman, as Naruto closed up the book and adjusted his glasses. With a smile on his face, he then said, "Thank you. I'll be going to meet him now, ma'am." And so Naruto got up and walked away. That boy. He has this air around him. I'm damn proud of him if he was my son. As Naruto then arrived outside of the orphanage. Greetings, Kage-sama. You know, Naruto, you can call me Gigi when we are alone. I forgot about that. How are you doing today, Gigi? I am fine, my boy. What you got there? What are you reading now? Oh, the book that I got from your library about the economics. I did not know you were interested in such. Well, to be honest, I am. As the things are here, I don't know if this book is suitable for us. Why do you think so? Said Hiruzen as both of them at the time were now walking towards the Ichiraku ramen stand. While talking, as the civilians were passing by, the men were bowing down to Hiruzen to pay their respects to him. As Naruto then spoke, because our conditions are not up to par with the Land of Fire. The writer exists in the Land of Fire and has wrote these books after, well, evaluating the conditions there, not of ours at the countryside in Konoha. As both of them arrived, is that so? Greetings, Tenavichi. Ayame. Ah, Hokage-sama. And young Naruto over here, said Tenuichi, the owner of the said property. And stall. Yes. Greetings to you as well, Tenuichi-san. Ayame-san. You know you don't need to call me that, kid. You can call me Ayame-ne-san. Ah, yes. My apologies. Always the gentleman, huh, Naruto? Please be seated. What would you like to take, young gentleman? Teased Ayame. Come on, Ayame-ne-san. Don't tease me like this. I'll take the miso ramen. Then I'll have the same, said Hiruzen. Coming right up, as Tenuichi and Ayame were now busy, Hiruzen then went to talk to Naruto, turning towards him. Now, as you were saying, Naruto. Well, as I said, he was evaluating the Land of Fire, not Konoha, and it is not suitable for us to read and view this from technical point of view. If you were to do this, then how would you? Well, first of all, I might have to see the budgets. As Hiruzen stroked his beards. Maybe in a few years when you grow up, Naruto. I have been saving up the staple that you have given me, like all the other orphans. Is that so? How much you have gained? I have been saving for almost 2 years and have been working an odd job. Odd job? Naruto, you're 5. Yes, I know, but I've been helping out the Higurashi weapons shop. Why? Why would you do that? You do know that your chakra coils were harmed, my boy. 5 years ago when you were born. Yeah, I know, said Naruto with a sad look on his face. But do not be sad, said Hiruzen as he placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. There's other ways that you can still make a name for yourself. It's not about making a name, Gigi. It's about making a change. Konoha's conditions are not as they are, for liable for us all to live here. People, even if they don't show it, they believe in you a lot, and you have a huge responsibility on your shoulders to make sure and see to it that we are prospering. Yes, that it is true, said Hiruzen, extremely proud that Naruto was saying this, and Tenuichi had a smile on his face because Naruto, for his age, while the other kids just put a finger in their nose and were pranking one another or even fighting or dreaming about becoming a shinobi or some other thing, Naruto was speaking harsh, cold facts. And he was quite impressed by it. And same could be said for Ayame, who was quite having a hard time in believing that Naruto, a 5-year-old, was saying these words. Well, my boy, just continue on with your studies for the time being. When you are at the age of 10, tell me then and then we'll see what we can do. Alright, I'll continue to save and work an odd job. Just make sure it is nothing dangerous. Alright. And so, Naruto never got the chance to tell how much he had saved, and Naruto continued to do that until he reached at the age of 10, when he arrived at the bank with Hiruzen. Why are we here, Naruto? As Naruto then said, with a scroll in his hand and a smile on his face, I'll show you. As everyone bowed in the bank in Konoha as soon as they saw Hiruzen. Hokage-sama, you could have called for us, the manager said. Han-san, I'm here with young Naruto over here. He wishes to speak to you. I believe it is somewhat important. Yes, greetings, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. Yes, sure, kid. What can I do for you? I wish to open an account. An account that would allow me to make investments in the Land of Fire. It's called a current account, kid. Yes, I would want to open that. And so an account of such was opened under the title name of Naruto Uzumaki in the Bank of Konoha. How much do you wish to deposit? And so Naruto opened the scroll in front of the cash counter, and Naruto then said all of it. And so the cash counting began, and Hiruzen was quite surprised that it turned out to be 1.5 million ryus in total. And the cashier was quite tired after manually going through all those notes that were there. And so once the currency was deposited, we see Naruto then said, "Alright, let's go now, Gigi." And so Hiruzen then brought Naruto to his office to change his book. "Naruto?" As Naruto was going through the library, "How did you... I told you I have been saving." As Hiruzen's eyes widened as he remembered, "You have been saving since then." "Yes, but I gave you the money to spend." "Well, I did spend it on some things. I bought the cheap clothes from thrift store and used them. I got new sandals when the previous ones would not be mended and they broke." "So you have been saving quite a lot." Yes, I have." "What do you wish to do now, Naruto?" "Well, I would have bought a home because I know I would be able to buy some land. But talking about land, I think I will go for that. There is a huge piece of land just above the Hokage monuments, right? That is quite left alone. I can buy that land, right?" "Yes, for the right price that you have, you will be able to purchase that and get a deed under your name." "But why would you want to get that land, Naruto?" "I am gonna build my own city." "Your own city? What do you mean?" I have finally realized, Gigi. I have been reading and trying to find a way to make Konoha self-sufficient so that we don't have to rely on daimyo to get the scrapes of our fruits that we bear and bring to daimyo. "And how did you come to that?" "I have read the news as well. That is another expense that I was willing to make. Reading the whole articles on that. Konoha and its people has put in a lot of efforts over the courses of years, and each year only we get 10% of the income we make, and the rest of the 90 is gone to daimyo because he has been supporting us. His family has been supporting us for quite a while now, Naruto. You do know that, right?" As Naruto then finally found the book, and it was about a city planner that helped the construction of not only Konoha but also of the Land of Fire itself when the time of it was. As Hiruzen said, "Just make sure you know what you're doing, Naruto. Trust me, Gigi. And plus, this is the money I saved up all my life. What probably could go wrong, right? And not like I'm gonna invest all of it." Good to know that." And so Hiruzen was able to buy that land for Naruto from the Land of Fire daimyo and was able to register it under his own name, Naruto's name, only for 600,000 ryus, leaving Naruto with 800,000. And Naruto then took out the 300,000 ryus and began to construct a few architects over there. And that is when we see Naruto was standing there with a proud smile on his face with Hiruzen, as on his 12th birthday, the money was well spent, and he was still doing odd jobs making the money back. "Look at this. I have a few buildings to rent out now. And not only that, I am borrowing the electricity from Konoha, a power transformer of my own. You do know that land that you have to be allied to Konoha, right? You think I would go to war with Konoha? The council is quite worried that a child with such huge burden should let them handle. You know I wouldn't do that. This is my property, and I'm gonna do whatever I know and want to do, right?" "Of course, that is what we agreed on, Naruto. Just make sure you don't get hurt." "I'll make sure of that, Gigi." And so, Naruto began to work, and soon the word spread out, and the people who have been kicked out of, well, their rentals because of the ever-growing prices and taxes were now living in the apartments of Naruto. All Naruto had to do was pay the taxes to the Land of Fire directly, like Konoha did, for the electricity that came from them, and the natural water supply. Naruto was now reading books on inventions and was able to find out quite a lot of things. He invented one thing actually, and it was the solar panels. He went to Higurashi's shop and was ordering that, and soon enough, the first panel plate was constructed and was able to hold itself on top of Naruto's home, and it powered the whole home as well, acting as the top roof for shade and for seating, even in the rain to enjoy the weather, and also gathering the sunlight and making it into an energy. And it was now soon built on each and every property of Naruto that was owned by that piece of land by Naruto. And within a few months, on the first year, Naruto cut it off the generator from the Land of Fire daimyo, completely becoming self-sufficient because the water flow was right next to them and now they had unlimited power of their own. But that is when an issue came, when the tenants complained that the power was running out in the night, and Naruto knew he had to do something. So he, instead of buying batteries, made batteries DIY, and they were able to store the electricity for night uses. The Konoha people of Konoha were quite impressed. Naruto, within just a few months, was able to become self-sufficient. As back in Konoha's council, we see the civilians were talking about this, as the elders were assuring them that this would fail, while Hiruzen then said, "It is quite interesting." "What is, Hiruzen?" said many others. "That kid, he's what, 10, 12? I know I have been mentoring him and watching over him because of my promise to his parents, but he within a few months was able to become self-sufficient on his own land without relying on the daimyo because he knew he wanted that. He wanted freedom, complete freedom and hold of his own land. The daimyo were also asking questions that how he was gonna borrow power for them. And now, when his men arrived and checked, they were left stunned and shocked. They have never seen those plates. What were they called again, Kakashi? Oh, they're called the solar plates. Since I live there because of my job and it's being nearly on top of Konoha, it's quite easy to tell. They store sun's energy and turn it into electricity and can store the batteries that Naruto have built. And those batteries can last up to a week as the people begin to murmur. This could save a lot of money that is being sent to the daimyo. And so, Naruto was given an order for these panels and the batteries. And surely Naruto knew that he wouldn't be able to do this alone. And Hiruzen then gave him a team of people. Naruto obviously in his mind knew that Hiruzen was trying to steal the idea. He was, after all, the Kage, because he knew once Naruto takes this money, it will be his last. So he entirely made a complex way that people hardly could understand and made the plates as well as the batteries. And Konoha people and even the most brilliant minds were not able to grasp how he was able to do it. And so Naruto had an idea. Since he had read books about business, he then patented the name of the solar panels and the company and defined it Naruto Solar Panel Company and of batteries. And it begins to spread like a trend as wildfire as well, and spread out not only in Konoha but in Land of Fire. The daimyo was quite fond of this achievement by Konoha because it was something that not was even seen or could be done by the Snow Country, which was held as a pristine country because of its technology. Even the people who shouldn't be aware of were quite fond of it. And so the prices were skyrocketing, and those people who have installed it before at earlier prices were now happy. Especially Naruto and his tenants. Talking about that, Naruto has constructed some more buildings, and now many of the tenants were living there from Konoha and from other. Naruto also opened a commercial district, and soon enough, Tenoichi's daughter Ayame opened a shop there, following suit by other shops, and soon enough Naruto's city in its own was growing. Naruto purchased, because of the money that he had made, 2 more plots, and also began to construct roads there, dirt roads, as in Konoha, and soon enough the buildings began to stand there as well. As Naruto by the age of 13 was able to within a year make development that was never seen in Konoha, because Naruto has built perfect housing, warm and cold water both, and even aside from that, perfect sewerage system, which all the way led down to the main severages, where furnace was burning down everything except for the dung that was turned into fertilizer and was being used to make its own crops that were quite literally amazing because of the fertilization and whatnot. As Naruto was then called into the council as a form of a guest because he was allied to Konoha and was brought there with honor. As Naruto arrived there, he was seated like a honor of guest, as Daimyo was present there as well as Naruto bowed. And the Daimyo was happy to see that, as he then said, "Well now, it almost looks like that you are forming your own city up there, young one." "Of course, Daimyo-sama. That is the plan." "And here I am scared that you might try to take Konoha away from me." "Who knows?" "I like this kid. I like this one. Say, Naruto, what was to happen if your village was to be raided and a war broke out?" "Well, in case of that, I guess I might have to defend my village. Even though knowing that most of your populace belongs to Konoha." "True, that is quite true, but who said that I would defend them with people? How else will you defend? There are quite arts that were left by the Uzumaki clan that I am quite aware of, and quite fond of, to be honest. Because I, myself, am an Uzumaki, Daime-sama." "What arts?" "Fuinjutsu. The arts of the seals. Even with broken chakra coils, one with possessing chakra can power them with the drop of his blood." "And your saying is, I made a seal that can repel any attack, even one from the Nine Tails itself." "How? How can that be? There's no such seal that could work as such. Konoha was almost devastated 13 years ago. And Konoha never learned from that mistake because they didn't find a way to stop that from happening if that things come back to that." As Konoha began to murmur, and Danzo almost slapped himself because that he never thought of. He could have found a way to prevent that from happening. "And how did you do that if they were not able to do?" said Daimyo, now completely serious. "As you all are aware that I was the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. A part of its scar still remains, but the soul is trapped within me because of my fourth Hokage sealing the Biju inside of me with the help of the Shinigami. I was quite surprised by the seal, but soon found out that it was beyond any reasoning because the Shinigami was powering that seal." "Yes, that is true. So, how did you come up with that seal on your land that you own? And not only that, how does this connect with that? Think about it. If there was a seal that allows the Biju to be held back, if I recreated something like that because I am from their bloodline, wouldn't it be obvious that I would do that? As that is when their eyes went, so you made a seal that can stop a Biju or, yes, even an army for as long as it takes. And all it takes is a droplet of my blood." As the daimyo was then quiet for a moment, quite serious, and then he laughed. "Good to know that then you're on our side." Yes, yes, for the time being I am." As everyone chuckled, because Hiruzen realized that Naruto has not taken kindly of what the daimyo was suggesting. He was suggesting that what would you do if I started a war with you? And Naruto just has clapped back, which daimyo has also taken lightly. As Naruto then said, "Well, gentlemen, I have other things to attend to. Tomorrow I will be visiting Kumo." Why, Naruto? I was never told. A letter has arrived. Raikage-sama, A-sama, who has been stated as a new Raikage, wishes to meet with me to discuss some things. He's gonna pay handsomely if that things work out well." As after that, Naruto then said, "Look, Daimyo-sama, you do not need to worry about anything. If anything, my land will be a merchant town, where people from Konoha as well as from other sides can stay, like all the other towns surrounding Konoha, and the Land of Fire." If that is what you aim to do, then why did you bought the other land?" "Because I wish to expand my land and turn it into a city." If you place that city under my banner, then it will prosper." "I would really appreciate the gesture, but I would rather grow it on my own. We are already self-sufficient with power and with our food resources. So, we are quite happy as we are, even if we don't grow. That land, if anything, could be used for growing crops that we can trade with the other villages, if not within Land of Fire or with Konoha." The daimyo was now bright red because he realized that Naruto has countered him and blocked him off completely of gaining any access or footing in his land. By the way, said Daimyo with a smirk on his face, what did you intend to call it? Since I am the founder, it's obvious it's going to be called the Great Naruto Village. As everyone face faulted. What? So straight, Naruto, said Kakashi. That is quite straight. Well, I am the founder. You gotta deal with that at least. You better believe it, said Naruto. And so, the village flag was then erupted. Soon after that, before Naruto departed, with a fox and an Uzumaki symbol between that. And not only that, it was a black flag, with orange fox with red Uzumaki symbol burning inside of its back, named as the Great Uzumaki Village. As it was still growing, the trade routes were set, not only with the Land of Fire daimyo because he knew that he needed the goods to show off to the others that the others were getting. But that is when Naruto acquired the other piece of land, completing the upper part. Something happened. After everything was done, Naruto within a few months, as he reached the age of 14, discovered minerals, metals, from beneath the earth, and immediately claimed over them and patented the company name Naruto Mining and Co. from the Great Naruto Village, and began to hire workers from the minor villages as well as from Konoha, and even hired Konoha shinobis collaborating with them. And soon enough, the profits were booming. The metals were quite rich. Even the Land of Fire daimyo himself could not hold himself back, and regretted ever selling the land to the damn boy. How is this happening? Said the daimyo in his office, as all of his ministers were there. That boy is 14 years old, for God's sake. And you all are what? You all have more experience than his age. He holds only quarter of the age that the experience that you hold. How is he was able to grasp that land from our hand and those minerals? Why were we not able to find that? Because we never tried. And that land was, well, always occupied by Konoha. Konoha is the reason. Maybe there might be underneath Konoha. Naruto at the time has founded his own bank and moved each and every penny and asset down there. And the taxes from Land of Fire daimyo that were being placed heavily on him were now cut it off. Daimyo was even madder than ever on Naruto because Naruto has completely become sufficient and the accursed village of his was now booming. Because if not for Konoha, the trading routes would have helped. But Naruto even was quite genius enough to make trading routes of his own through water as well as through other resources, connecting other villages from entirely different routes that have never been discussed with Konoha or with the Land of Fire. And that was something that even Konoha was scared of because Naruto now had paths that connected the other villages to Konoha's back. As the Land of Fire, the daimyo then said, we need to take out Konoha. It has been a loyal dog, but we have no use for it. If anything, it is loyal to the damn village. As now we see, Naruto was unaware as the construction company and the mining company was working as such, while Hiruzen and the council was being quite in terrible state. You can't do this. This is our land. We have been living here for the past 100 years or so. You can't erase Konoha as such. I am. This is my land. Konoha has to pay the tax on it as well before you leave. Daimyo-sama, you can't. This is our home. This is our land. You can't just strip it away from us. We have fought for you in wars. You have only fought for you the mess that you have created. Hashirama, Tobirama, they all have created mess of their own. As Hiruzen was quite sad, until the door bursted open and in came Naruto. You don't need to worry about that. What do you want, brat? I want this land. Fine. You will buy it, but at my price. Any price, name it. The daimyo thought of an obnoxious price. 300 billion ryus. Done. As Naruto snapped his fingers, as immediately the people walked in with money. You can't turn back right now because everyone here heard that. The deal has been made. I gave you your price. Now hand me the deed. And so the deed was given because daimyo begrudgingly had to do that. And right after he gave that, Konoha was freed from the daimyo. But the daimyo was happy that he got money. And right after he left, Konoha was acquired by the Great Naruto Village. As Naruto then said, from this place onwards, Konoha is the capital of the Great Naruto City. As people of Konoha and the council, which were baffled, were deafened when the surprise shrieks and cheers of people erupted. They were getting tired of the taxes being impaled on them by the daimyo and whatnot, and Naruto now has freed them of that. As Hiruzen said, Naruto, but why, my boy? Because it was needed. It was needed to be done. And soon enough, everything within Konoha began to change. By the time Naruto reached at the age of 15, it was time for Konoha, now that they were strong and were the backbone of the great Naruto city, to hold the tuning exams with the other villages. And so, this time, Hiruzen, who was now working diligently on his job with much more efficiency because Naruto has changed Konoha within few years, was holding the tuning exams. Until a disaster was about to happen as some people crossed and immediately alerts rang out and they were captured on spot. Turns out one of them was Orochimaru and all of them had curse mark seals. It cannot be. Suna was working with him. If it wasn't for the kid's seal. No, Naruto-sama done so. Yes, Naruto-sama's seals would have been destroyed. Many catastrophes would have been made. Many deaths would have occurred. And we think that we should be grateful for what has happened. And Orochimaru was then found out. As Naruto then said, arriving there, I wish to speak with Orochimaru. Naruto, are you insane? He's out of his mind. I wish to speak with him, GD. He's a useful man. He will be able to help us, if I'm able to help him. He's insane, kid, said Danzo. Trust us. I know, and I trust you very well. For the safety, as well as with the operations in the village. But I have to do this. Because I cannot allow my capital to be tormented as such, and allow such potential to waste. Call back the other Sanins as well. They're needed in their new home. Understood. And so, Naruto was now sitting face to face with Orochimaru. So you're the amazing Naruto that I have heard so much about. You are really young. It's still impressive that you were able to build such a empire of your own. Because I did not waste time. And I don't like to waste it of yours as well. Let me get straight to the point. You have a genius and brilliant mind, even though it was used for other stuff. I wishes to use it for good. You think I would just listen to you? Because I possess the thing that you want, and that is why you will listen to me. What do I want? Immortality. I have read your notes, as well as your diaries left behind. You are only chasing immortality. As Orochimaru was surprised and almost stunned that this young boy was able to find out what he truly wanted. And what is there something that you can give? And how will that be? As Naruto placed a piece of paper there, as his eyes widened, shadow clones. How? I read a lot, because my Gigi, the Hokage, allowed it to be. And I have found quite a lot of things. Your parents were not killed in Konoha, or by Konoha. They were on a trip in the land of fire, and they were killed by accident when the daimyo's men raided on the rogue room, and immediately bursted into action. As Orochimaru's knuckle turned white. So all these years, I had to keep this a secret. My son, who was under the daimyo, told me that I had to take the blame or he would be executed. You could have told me, Sensei. You know I, Jiraiya, and Tsunade would have went there to save them. I know, and that is why I did not want any of this to befall on you. If anything, I would take on your hatred, knowing that you would hate only me, and I would get my son back. I apologize, Sensei. I have been a bad student to you. It's alright, at least you realize. Now, are the misunderstanding clear? Yes. When can I begin? Right now, if you want to. The lab has been built and prepared. Probably done wrong. Just show me the way. Kakashi, lead him. And so, Orochimaru being freed was led there. Naruto then bought out the land of sound for himself, and all its inhabitants now became the citizens of the great Naruto city. As now we go towards the daimyo's meeting, where the daimyo of the land of fire was literally grabbing his head because right now his attack dog as well as his mines were taken from him. We have to send our villages after him. And you don't forget your promise. Of course I won't. And once they tried to send out their villages, they outright denied. And once the daimyo threatened to break off, Naruto willingly opened his arms, and so they joined the part and became the extension branches, provinces of the great Naruto city, now turning into the great Naruto nation of its own right. And now it was, as Naruto held the ceremony, as each mayor, which was a Kage position now, was present. Mei Terumi, Onigi, as well as Rasa, and finally A and Hiruzen. All of them were here, standing in front of Naruto as Naruto then proudly announced the great nation, which had broken the backs of the others. Others who were tyrannical towards their own. The people of their own nations began to move there. The spies who tried to get in were immediately found out and were brought to questioning, and later on sent it back with threats. And so now we see the daimyos were attacking the land of fire. Daimyo, it is because of you we lost everything. If the brat wants to, he can just destroy us. Our population is decreasing. What are we gonna do? It's all the damn Naruto's fault. He had to get in between our power play. They've used them to cause war, and then win their sympathy with some money, and then they could have been good attack dogs for us. Pathetic. All of them are. I know someone who will help us. Who? They helped me out before. Who is it? Tell me. I'll pay them as much as they want, said the land of our daimyo. It's the Akatsuki. And so the Akatsuki were contacted, and they took in the money, and were sent to the great Naruto nation. But as soon as they arrived, they too were captured because of Naruto. And Naruto was now present in front of them. Ah, the daimyo of the said nation himself. Yes, you can say that. The founder as well, though. Even if it is our nation is small, we have developed this so far so that these cheap attacks would not work. So do tell, why are you here, Akatsuki? Especially you, Obito Uchiha. How do you... We have a system now that we are able to match you with our database that we have, even of the deceased. As Obito then took off his mask and said, we want you. You were one of our targets, and all the Jinchurikis. And mind telling me for why? For the Moonlight Plan. As Obito's eyes widened, as Naruto then said, truth-speaking seal, on the chair that you sat on. No matter how hard you try, you can't lie. And so, that is when an Anbu burst in. Naruto, Sama, what is it, Kakashi? As Naruto's eyes widened, who is Kaguya Otsutsuki, and what she got to do with the Moonlight Plan? I don't know. What are you speaking of, Zetsu? Why is her will working for you? He's not the will of Kaguya Otsutsuki, he's the will of Madara Uchiha. Something is wrong here. He's speaking of some Otsutsuki woman, Kaguya Otsutsuki. This cannot be right. And so, all of them went there, even bringing in the prisoner Obito and the others. And in front of them, he, sitting on the truth chair, confessed everything, that how he was using them. And Naruto has disrupted that balance that he was able to create. And now, his plans have been foiled. Damn you, brat. I just wish that I would have not made the part of history where you would turn out like this. It was all my fault, because I thought that you would turn out to be a great threat. Indeed I did. Not with hand or feet of strength, but with strength of mind, I guess. As he began to growl, enough of you. What are we to do with him now, Naruto? I do not care. What do you guys say? Naruto said, turning towards them. He kind of betrayed you as well. I say we kill him, said Obito, and then everyone began to nod. Before that, I have a proposition for all of you. You all reside in Amegakure for what I have been told. Yes. I wish to take that part of land as mine as well. A part of the great Naruto nation. We can make sure that it will be prosper. You can all have different jobs which could make you a lot of money. If it is hunting job, then I will gladly accept. Good, then you two will be in the department of the TIA, interrogation and hunting down criminals. What about us? What can you do? I love clay, and I love puppets. Live ones as well. Yeah, not live ones, but if you wish to craft any wooden or other puppets, then you can go ahead with that. Well, it will help with our entertainment department. Hmm, not a bad idea. And Pain then said, I wish to govern the land. Then you're the Kage of that land. Amegakure. Alright. I wish to stay with Nagato. Then you can, Konan. And that one by one, all of the things were sorted out. Except for Zetsu, who later was destroyed and killed by his own team. His own history that he created. Because why? Because a charming, charismatic young mind was now becoming his biggest hurdle. And the hurdle of the life of the other daimyos, who now were facing a revolt within their own cities because the people have had enough of the taxes being squeezed out of them and the corruptness of theirs. They and their family fled and were now on the run, but the lands were now freed. Naruto jumped in on the action and took them under themselves because the lands trusted their kages and their villages, which belonged to their daimyo before, because they were living a good life. They thought they too would, and that they did. Naruto, the great Naruto nation, was now the most biggest nation ever. Many minor villages, as well as the other villages such as Vegetable Country and Snow Country, were now quite admiring it because Naruto has turned his village into a nation, and that nation into a great nation, and that great nation into a country of its own with a lot of provinces and with a lot of mayors, all reporting to him. While the while Naruto sat in his office reading the book with Hiruzen by his side. As it all began, as Hiruzen had a smile on his face while drinking his green tea, reminiscing of all how a young kid has changed the whole elemental nation for the best. As this is where I'm going to be leaving the story of, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. As this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing off for the day. Peace.